Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the 10/21/20 episode of NXT. And it was infinitely better than the last couple of weeks of NXT. And I'm genuinely interested and excited for what's going on in the future. So let's start from the beginning. It was a pretty damn good triple threat match. Kushida versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream. This match, the only problem I had with this match, not only because it was a triple threat match and I hate triple threat matches, but the winner didn't get anything. Kushida won the match, but what does he get? He didn't get anything from winning this match. So it really didn't benefit him that much at all. So, but it was still a pretty good win. And hey, I'm not gonna shit on giving a good win to a worthy competitor like Kushida. The match was pretty badass. It was pretty good. Very aggressive on the part of Kushida and Velveteen. I mean, not Velveteen Dream, but Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa. Velveteen Dream's selling was top notch once again. I think getting into whatever trouble he got himself into has really did him wonders as far as, him trying to, like I said, man, the Dave Chappelle joke is the same. He's trying to beat whatever case he's got. He's trying to beat that shit in the ring. He's really been putting on pretty good performances, and he did good. So then after that, we had the I'm just gonna do the whole thing of Undisputed Era. So Undisputed Era did a promo where they were going to they were doing a promo for the tag team title match, which was supposed to be the main event. And during this promo, Bobby Fish looked like he sell computers, like he worked in the Geek Squad. Then the next thing that came up later was that Bob Fish had gotten attacked from behind, so he was going to be out of the tag team title match. So then after as the show progresses, we find out that Kyle O'Reilly he's barely 100%, but he's willing to take Bob Fish's spot, and it's going to be Bob Fish, and not Bob Fish, but Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly wrestling for the tag team titles. And then later on in the night, Roderick Strong is knocked unconscious. So then we start telling it, we've been building the story throughout the night that Undisputed Era is being picked off one at a time. And Adam Cole is not present in the building. So Kyle O'Reilly is by himself, and he basically is cornered, and he basically asks the question like, okay, well, now what do I do? Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch offer him to be his partner for the night. And then, Kyle O'Reilly basically says, well, no, you guys go ahead and have the match. So he basically hands the match to Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. And that's when, the big reveal at the end, but we'll get there. So next we find out that they have added a match to the Halloween Havoc. It is Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a Haunted House of Horrors match. I have no idea what that is. It sounds like it's going to be goofy as shit, because honestly, how could it not be goofy with goddamn Dexter Lumis and that goddamn Cameron Grimes? Now they did a promo later with Cameron Grimes where he was all swaggy and Cameron Grimes, and then he finds out what kind of match it is, and he gets kind of spooked. But he always looks like small town. I'm just gonna say small town retarded, like with the droop face, like he just looked like he got his cousin and his brother are the same people, which I guess is the part of the character, is that he's supposed to look like that. So then the next match was Jessie Kamea versus Ember Moon. Not really feeling Ember Moon, man. She looked a little slow. I mean, it was her first singles match, but she looked a little slow. Jessie Kamea got quite a bit of offense in, more offense than I thought she would. And Ember Moon won with a submission finish. She didn't use the bullshit, what's that, Eclipse finish. So she used a regular submission hold. She had been using submission holds throughout the match. So they pretty much, somebody listened to my video and told her, hey, cut out the goddamn cut out the goddamn Eclipse. Do some other stuff. And she still did some flippity flip stuff, but she didn't do anything that was too dangerous. And she actually broke out Magnum too, which is one of Tessa Blanchard's moves. It was pretty cool. And after the match, after Ember Moon won with this submission hold, which they didn't have a name for, but it was a cross-legged sort of camel clutch, I would say. It's a really weird, it looked like a rest hold, but whatever. You know, I'm pretty sure I'll get used to it the more she does it. But Dakota Kai actually attacked Ember Moon after the match, and that's actually a good. You know, Dakota Kai is a good starter opponent for somebody who really wants to get in on the ground floor of NXT. I've said before I really like Dakota Kai, but I didn't think she fit as a top level female performer. I think she really fits as that gatekeeper heel, and I think that's a really good spot for her. So that was pretty good. And then the next thing we get is Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed is the fake boy. Okay. Fake boy. All right, so they're calling him Colossal now. And now they got the sort of Godzilla, you know, with the helicopters and the buildings being crushed and all that type of stuff going on in the Tron. It's so much cooler. But, you know, once thick boy, always thick boy. Once, you know, gigantic teddy bear, always gigantic teddy bear. And I just know that this guy has Funkasaurus written all over him. He is the new Funkasaurus. The moment he hits SmackDown, he's got a dancing gimmick, guaranteed. He's gonna have a skinny partner like Chad Gable or something like that, and they're gonna be dancing, and he's gonna be like doing Rikishi stuff. It's gonna be terrible. I can see it already. I already see it in his future. He's not gonna be Bam Bam Bigelow. He's gonna be Tyrus. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. I don't know, but they did something really interesting. They had a decent match. You know, Bronson Reed wins with a flying splash. Guy's like 400 pounds, so I would think that a flying splash from the top rope would actually, you know, you would take more time to sell it than what Austin Theory did. Austin Theory challenged him to an immediate rematch. He said, "I'm 23. I've done more than you've done in your 15-year career," or something like that. So he challenged him to get back in, and Bronson Reed beat him again with a Samoan drop. So they pinned Austin Theory twice, and then later on in the evening, he basically packed his bags and said he quit NXT. He's leaving. He's probably not going to be gone that long. I don't see him going back to Raw or SmackDown. Not while that stuff is still hanging over his head. You know, him just like Velveteen Dream. They're trying to work it off in the dark. You know, but Austin Theory's been a workhorse the last couple of weeks, maybe like the last month or so. They've been putting him in matches that are pretty long, and are so he's not getting squashed, but he is losing a lot. So, but he's getting his shit pushed in. You know, no homo, but he's getting his shit pushed in pretty often. Okay, so they did. There was a Xylee versus Casey Cadenzaro promo. They've been telling this story about Xylee. She's been under a lot of pressure. We don't know from what or from who, but apparently Boa is involved. And Casey Cadenzaro had accepted the match, and because, you know, she's friends with Xylee, and Xylee really wanted this match. So they did the match later on in the night. I'm just gonna skip ahead, and they did the match. It was really weird. Like, for anybody who thinks NXT is not a school because Finn Balor is there and Johnny Gargano is there, and there's people who've been in the business 10 years, go watch this match. This match looks like two green motherfuckers working. That's how NXT would look if you didn't have people on the show who had more experience. Xylee, I like Xylee, I do, but she's not there yet as far as a performer is concerned. She still needs some more time, and she's been in the company 3 years already, and her English is okay. You know, she writes good English as far as Twitter and stuff like that, but talking, you need some help. So then, after Xylee loses by victory roll, which was a pretty nice victory roll, and then she immediately spazzes out. You know, she started beating up Casey Cadenzaro and Kaden Carter, and it was okay. It was doing okay, and then out of nowhere, Raquel Gonzalez showed up and beat up everybody, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Nice way to stomp on Xylee's heel turn and some development for her character. You didn't even allow her to grow in this situation. I really wanted to see where this was going. Like, what she had to say, whether somebody's going to come out and do something with her or interact with her at all or something like that. And she's immediately knocked down by Raquel Gonzalez to establish that Raquel Gonzalez is tough and top notch and all that type of stuff. And I was kind of like, I didn't need that. I could have just taken the Xylee turning heel. I would have been interested in that. I didn't need to see Raquel Gonzalez beat up Casey Cadenzaro and Caden Carter. But we could have done that after Xylee left the stage. After Xylee leaves, then maybe Raquel Gonzalez comes in as Caden Carter is like, "Oh, are you okay, Casey? Are you okay?" And then Raquel beats her up, and then throws her around and throws Casey around because it's a heel move to beat up people while they're already down. But they should have let that heel turn breathe, because it's official now, right? So they need to just go ahead and let that breathe. If she's ever going to get better, she needs to actually be out there doing stuff. If she spends most of her time on the mat or most of her time in the gym, she's not ever going to get any better. And I think that Xylee has something. She's going to be doing a mixed martial arts fight soon. I think she's going to be doing some type of kickboxing, amateur kickboxing or something like that. So that ought to be good, and maybe we'll get to see what the future of her character is by doing that, because it's separate from NXT. But she's doing some type of amateur kickboxing match. So that ought to be fun. Okay, so back to the show. The 6-man tag was Legado del Fantasma versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, Ashanti the Adonis, and Jake Atlas. And this match was badass. This was a pretty good match. It was a lot of flippity stuff. There was so many ugly spots in this match, though. I'm like, man, I'm surprised none of these guys got hurt. I'm surprised none of these guys got hurt. But here's the interesting thing. I don't know if any of you guys watched NXT UK, but Jordan Devlin is back. Apparently, he survived his speaking out. His speaking out attack. He survived, just like Velveteen Dream and Austin Theory. He survived it. So he cut this promo about being the real NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and how basically he told the story of how over time he saw it go from interim champion to NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And he basically cuts his promo like, I'm not some geek wearing property of WWE shirts. And it was basically like him talking about Santos Escobar. But they didn't follow up. Like on NXT, like Santos Escobar didn't have anything to say. You would think after something like that, and it was a pretty scathing promo, with like him basically calling Santos Escobar a geek and a fake champion. And there was no follow-up. Santos Escobar didn't follow up at all. There wasn't like a short promo where Santos Escobar gets to respond to what Jordan Devlin is saying. I mean, I know that the match is not coming anytime soon because, Jordan Devlin's in England. But he should, still be should still respond to people who are throwing jabs at him from across the ocean. And maybe they will get to that eventually, but I was really kind of looking forward to Santos Escobar to respond to what Jordan Devlin is saying, because Jordan Devlin is the Cruiserweight champion. He actually did win the Cruiserweight title. And so, well, then again, also, Santos Escobar also won the Cruiserweight title. So, we do have that situation where who's the real Cruiserweight champion. So it ought to be interesting, but this 6-man tag was very good. I liked it. I liked the opening spot. The opening spot is a Legado del Fantasma stare. It was a 3-on-3 stare down. It was like at the OK Corral. Everybody's looking at each other. They kind of shit talking, and Escobar is flexing like they ready to throw down, but they're waiting for the bell to ring. As soon as the bell rings, Legado del Fantasma powdered and rolled out of the ring, and I thought that was great. Like that was perfect to set to show you what kind of players they are, is that they're going to do things on their own time. They let the baby faces get all psyched up, get all hyped up, talk all they trash, and then they pull back. Like, okay, you guys can have the ring. The ring is like the center of the chessboard. Like you want to dominate the middle of the ring. So they pretty much surrendered the ring to the baby faces, off rip, which is good because it shows you that you're a coward. But it was a really good match. So there was 2 really ugly spots. There was this Spanish fly. They kept calling it the Spanish fly, where Jake Atlas caught somebody and he fell into the crowd. I don't know why they keep doing this. Everybody's in a crowd bunched up underneath each other. I hate that shit. But they tried to. I'm glad they did it this time, because Jake Atlas did not fully rotate and he looked like he was going to fall on his head. He legit looked like he was about to break his goddamn neck. And I was legit worried for him. There was so many times where I was just like, oh. There was another time a little bit later. Swerve did they helped him do, well, his partners helped him do a twistedy flippity do, and I thought he had fucking torn his knees up because of the way he fell, and I was just kind of like, oh, like we kind of need to chill. Like, I really like Swerve. Like, Swerve is my dude. I liked Swerve when he was on the Indies. He's one of the few guys who I watched him in MLW. I saw him some other indie matches. He wrestles the Kung Fu movie style that Ricochet and Will Ospreay works. But I think that he probably is a better promo, and I think he has a better size to him than Will Ospreay and Ricochet. He's definitely taller than Ricochet. So I really hope that something happens with him. But they just keep they keep feeding him to Escobar. So the next ugly spot that took place was that Santos Escobar did a tope suicida through the middle of the ropes, completely crushed Swerve against the table, the announce table. From there, Jake Atlas does his cartwheel DDT on the floor, and I swear I saw Santos Escobar's head get jammed into the floor. And I immediately said to myself, fucking shit, that looked like it hurt. Like, it legit looked like it hurt. Okay, and I was like, I hope he's all right. I hope he's all right. All right, so the Joaquin Wilde ended up pinning Ashanti the Adonis for the win. Legado del Fantasma are very good. I really like that gimmick. I really love what they're doing with them. I liked almost all of the guys in this match. I just wish that they didn't work so fast and wasn't trying to do so many oh my god spots, or they're gonna fucking kill each other. Okay, we can do without. You can do them minimally and do them safely instead of doing them very fast and doing them a lot, because that's dangerous. So the next thing that I hated was that they did this promo between Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, where Johnny Gargano said that he hate wheels. Oh boy, he said he hate wheels. He said he needs to be in control. He hates wheels. The wheel of death is going to kill him, or some such nonsense. Johnny Gargano's so fucking corny. He is so corny, man. Like, he corny as shit. Like, the dude can work when he is being restrained and he's not, doing all his indie bullshit. He can work, but personality wise, no. He ain't got it. He ain't got it, dog. He needs a manager or something. They need somebody to talk for them. I hate the LeRays. So we get the Furry and the Fury, Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, and I really, really liked this. I know it's weird, but I really, really liked this. And they faced Everrise. And it was pretty much a standard tag team match up to this point. I fucking hate Everrise, by the way. So, Killian Dane gets the hot tag and he's dominating because he's the biggest guy in the match. He should be dominating. And then out of nowhere, Everrise starts to chop block his knee. Boom. He stumbles a little bit. The other one comes from the other side. Boom. Jake Maggie's outside the ring or some shit. And then one of the Everrise guys, who I have no idea who he is, I think it's Parker. He puts Killian Dane in a single leg Boston Crab. And obviously this doesn't make much sense because Killian Dane should be a big hairy beast. He should be able to get out of a single leg Boston Crab. But it told the perfect story. He's in this Boston Crab, and the other guy has Drake Maverick outside the ring, and he's yelling at him like, look at him, he's your only friend, look at him. And then Drake Maverick is trying to get in the ring, and the guy pulls Drake Maverick back outside the ring. Look at him. He's like, and Drake Maverick snaps. He just, like, he's trying to get in there and help his friend, but the other guy won't let him. And he's just like, okay, fuck this. And he goes, he gets a chair. He whacks the guy with the chair. And he gives in the ring. He whacks the other guy with the chair. And he basically chases off Everrise with the steel chair. He's fired up. And he's like at the top of his, he's just bursting. And they lost. So they lost. Everrise actually won a match which is bizarre because Everrise should never win. They suck. But they won by disqualification. And, you know, they went off and Drake Maverick kind of calmed down and was like, oh shit, I got us disqualified. My partner's going to be mad at me. He's always mad at me anyway. He kind of gets kind of down on himself. And then Killian Dane was like, that was awesome. Like that's really what he wanted. Like he didn't mind teaming up with that guy who's so fired up that he grabbed the steel chair and was, you know, willing to beat that ass. You know, this is how oddball friendships work, man. I just did this video, right? I feel like this stuff is a pattern when you pay attention to it. But then after Maverick gets, you know, the pat on the back and everything looks good, the music starts to play. And Dane is like, no, I'm done. He starts doing the dance and everything, and Dane's like, nope, you ruined it. I'm out of here. You know, so they're getting closer, man. They're getting closer, but you know, Maverick's still being corny, and Dane doesn't want anything to do with corny ass Drake Maverick. He wants tough, aggressive, fiery Drake Maverick, which is what we all wanted. The guy who entered the cruiserweight tournament, who wanted his job. That's the guy we want. And, you know, that's the guy Killian Dane is trying to bring out. I just hate that they're doing this with Everrise, but it doesn't matter. Everrise, you know, they're guys who need something. You know, I'm not going to begrudge the company for doing something with guys who've been on the roster for a while and ain't doing anything. So, where did I leave off? Okay, so we get another great segment. We do Thatch as Thatch Can live. So Timothy Thatcher is with his students, who I believe is Anthony Henry from Evolve. So Thatch is showing us how to do, you know, submission holds, you know, how to do a real front face lock. And he asks the guy what's his name, and the guy says his name is Anthony. So he calls him Andrew. Then he calls him Alex later. So he's getting his name wrong on purpose because his name doesn't matter. So he's talking about, you know, the importance of being aggressive and showing no mercy to his opponents. And, you know, the guy surrenders his body to Thatcher to show the hold, and that he's tapping out because Thatcher's kind of got him, but Thatcher's not paying any attention. He's just, you know, cranking and all this type of stuff while he's lecturing us on how to do submission holds properly. And then so the guy, he kind of starts, you know, he's holding his neck because he was in that front face lock and it sucks. So then, you know, Thatcher, you know, offered him his leg. He said, take my leg. The guy goes to, you know, double leg Thatcher. Thatcher rolls him up in a double wrist lock, or double wrist lock, or they might call it Kimura. And he got him, and the guy's tapping out, but Thatcher is lecturing. He's not paying any attention to this guy. So the guy, he finally lets him go. The guy's getting real mad now. He's big mad now. And then Thatcher, you know, it's kind of like, okay, there's no way he can take my leg, so I'm going to offer my wrist. Here, take my wrist. And then the guy sweeps his leg, like, whoop, and while he's down, he put him in the front face lock. So he basically utilized Thatcher's. So because he bowed up on Thatcher, Thatcher's like, okay, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? You want to neck crank me? Okay. So then he basically he brings the referee in the ring. He basically gives the guy a chance. He said, well, okay, so this is what you want. This is what you want. Let's go ahead and do this match. And Thatcher then beats the shit out of this guy and then taps him out and then, you know, kicks him and all that type of stuff. And it was great. Timothy Thatcher as the abusive teacher is fucking awesome. I want more of the Thatch Can live. I want more of this shit. We need to do this every week. I don't care if Timothy Thatcher doesn't do another long-term promo or a long-term program, period. We really should have been doing this from the beginning. When it comes to Timothy Thatcher, after they did the thing with Matt Riddle, they should have started doing this Thatch Can live stuff. I know they started doing Thatch Can and they do it in the back. They should have started doing it live because it's really fun watching him stretch these guys. And I would definitely be on board to watch Timothy Thatcher stretch dudes and basically abuse them. You know, it was amazing. It was great. So the main event was actually very good too. It was Breezango versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. So it was a pretty good match. And then we learned in this match, and you know, they mentioned in this match something that I really hadn't noticed in a long time, that Fandango and Tyler Breeze have both been under WWE contract for over 10 years. And these are their first championships. So this is crazy. Like, they've been there forever, and most of them have been in developmental most of this time. I know that Tyler Breeze was in developmental way back when Sheamus and Heath Slater and, Naomi Knights and all of them was in developmental. Like, I think he was in development before even they showed up. So he's been in developmental for a long time. If he ain't developed by now, his run on the main roster amounted to nothing much than Breezango. Same thing with Johnny Curtis. But they really had a decent match with Burch and Lorcan. And I really enjoyed this thing because I really enjoyed the physical style of Burch and Lorcan. So I really dug it. Burch got the kick out of Fandango's finish, which was pretty cool. And then, at some point in the match, I think it was Breeze that climbed to the top rope and he got pushed down by a guy in a mask. So the guy in the mask pushed him off, and then out of nowhere, Danny Burch, boom, hits. I think it was Tyler Breeze in the nuts. Whichever, if one of them got pushed down, the other one got hit in the nuts. And then Burch and Lorcan did an elevated DDT, kind of sort of like a magic killer, and they won the match. And then the guy comes out, and it's fucking Pat McAfee. And you know what? I'm not mad because the story is naturally there. The story between Pat McAfee and the Undisputed Era is already there. We already know the history between the two of them. And adding Lorcan and Burch to this not only freshens up Lorcan and Burch, it really just adds another layer to the story. Because Lorcan and Burch are seen as honorable good guys, but honorable losers. They always fought hard, but they lost. And now they're going to take, some unfair shortcuts. And then also Pat McAfee could do the talking for them because they're not really good at talking. So we're gonna add Pat McAfee, who is charismatic, to this team of very physical competitors, these very physical dudes. And, that's gonna be, and I'm pretty sure they may have to add another person because Undisputed Era is 4 people. So that's good. I'm not mad at that. I was kind of miffed at first because I was like, do we really need more Pat McAfee? I thought we was done with this. But at the same time, I was like, okay, they're going to do it in a way that it folds into the story. Because Lorcan and Burch lost to Undisputed Era. And, we're going to obviously reveal that it was Pat McAfee that took out Roderick Strong and took out Bobby Fish. So, okay, I'm good with this. I'm good with it. I can't complain. 2 guys that I actually think are good workers, but they're not much on personality. You add a personality to them, it could be great. And then we're also going to get Lorcan and Burch as heels. I like that too. Like Lorcan and Burch is basically like 2 Cesaros. It's like having 2 Cesaros on the roster. That's kind of how it is. But I think this mostly is all about Triple H's death grip on Undisputed Era. Like, he refuses to let them guys go. It's like he's going to do whatever it takes to keep Undisputed Era on the roster. But now they're officially baby faces. So all of that, half the group is heels, other half baby faces. No, everybody's a baby face now. Because, Burch hit a guy in the nuts and Pat McAfee is a heel. I like this. I liked more of NXT than I did not like for the first time in a long time. So I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Or did you enjoy NXT? And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, donate if you can. Please donate if you can. And I'll talk to you guys later.